Good evening and welcome to the sex education series. Our question for today is, what is the psychosocial dimension of sex? Well, the psychosocial dimension of sex comprises of things like your emotions, your feelings and your personalities. And now let me tell you something that our entire sexuality is guided by these kind of things. For example, your emotions. If you're very happy, you're likely to be indulging in sex. If you're not happy, you're likely not to be indulging in sex. Or even with different personalities, there are certain people who are very sexually aggressive, and there are some people who are not very sexually active or more sexually passive. So depending upon the personality, you're more likely to engage into sex or avoid sex. The second thing which we need to understand about psychosocial dimension of sex is that the attitudes which we have built up during childhood are often carried with us into adulthood, or even into married life, or even into any kind of long-term sexual relationship. For example, if during childhood you have been told that masturbation is very harmful for you, or certain sexual acts are not considered healthy, or they are not considered normal, then many men and women are likely to avoid these forms of sexual behavior when they enter marriage or into other forms of long-term sexual relationship. Also, what we need to understand is our entire sexual behavior is guided by laws, by taboos, by family and peer pressure, and that will help us to find out a path of sexual behavior which seems to be right for us. But let me tell you one thing very clearly, that laws and taboos do regulate our behavior to a certain extent, but then there are people who have broken taboos and broken laws and went ahead and did just what they wanted to do. Also, what you need to understand very carefully, that family pressure sometimes will make you do something or not to make you do something, but of more concern is peer pressure, where especially when you are in your early teens, or even when you are in early adulthood stages, when you're probably forced to engage into premarital sex whether you want it or not. So this is a very difficult thing, and one should know how to handle peer sexual pressure and not give in to sexual pressure when you don't want to engage into any form of sexual activity. So the whole idea behind understanding that we human beings do have a psychosocial dimension is that we are likely to be affected by many human and social factors, and we need to understand that our sexuality is not something which is completely inherent. There are many guiding forces. We have to understand these forces and see how they impact us and how we can avoid the harmful factors that impact us. So I hope you do understand and will be able to make better sexual decisions if you understand them better and know how to handle them better. Thank you.